Hello everyone, so this is Fibo Kids Art Academy. My name is Miss Casey and we're here to bring you a little tutorial about how to make an accordion book. So we've got a book here and it goes out like an accordion and the kids can totally decorate this however they want. It ends up being really fun. They can create their own book or just make fun little sketches inside. It will be great. So what you're gonna need is you are going to need to get some markers or any other materials that you have in your kit. You can use colored pencils or anything that you'd like to decorate your book with. You can use some colored paper for the cover of your book. You're going to be attaching it. And you can use colored paper like construction paper, colored paper that we have here at the studio. You can use cardstock paper that you can find at any art supply store like Michael's, or even just plain white paper would work, and then they can just decorate on top of that. So you also want to get a white paper. It can even be copy paper from the computer, or we have our illustration paper here at the studio. And then you also do want to grab some scissors and a glue stick. So now that we've covered the materials that we need, we're going to set those aside for now. And we are going to start with the illustration paper, or the white paper that you have chosen, or the inside paper that you're going to be using. Whatever color it is, we're going to start with that first. So what we do want to do is we are going to cut this paper down the middle vertically. So you can fold that in half. Don't mind the back side of my paper, it is the illustration paper, so I recommend when you use paper that you get a blank sheet of paper from both sides. We're just going to cut that down the middle. Okay, and then you may have some excess paper. You do want to make sure that those two halves meet and match. So if you have any extra paper, you can cut that off and then you'll be good to go. You can set the trash aside. Okay, so now when you have two equal halves, next what you're going to do is you are going to fold one half into fours, but instead of folding it four all the way around, you're going to fold it back and forth, switching directions, so alternating the folds. So I'm going to fold it once toward me, and then once again facing the back. Make sure that those folds are nice and creased. And I'm going to fold it one more time, again toward me. Make sure it's as even as you can get it. Make that fold as creased as possible. You may even need to grab your glue stick just to help you fold that down a little bit easier. Okay, so once you have folded, you should have 4 sides or 4 pages. Okay, so it's going to come out like a mini accordion, but we want to make this a pretty large accordion, also to have just some extra pages, so that's where our second half comes in. So you're going to do the same just as you did for that first half. You're going to fold it once towards you, fold it back again the other way. Now if you have bigger paper and you end up making more folds, then that's totally fine. This is your book, and it can work with any size paper. Okay, now I ended up folding a little bit shorter than my first paper, which is a very important detail. So you do want to make sure that you get even folds. We have our 2 folds. I do have that extra piece from my fold that does not match up with the size of my other half. So I'm just going to fold it along that other half to make sure that it does match up. And then using that fold, end up using that as a tab to attach to my second half. So I'm just going to make sure that it lines up, and when it is lined up, that it opens up how I'd like it to open. So I have the blank pages inside. I have my pages on the outside because I want to cover those up. I'm going to find that tab, meet it in the center where it meets my second half. I'm going to use my glue. I'm going to add some glue just to that little tab there. So I'm going to attach the side that I want right onto that tab. You can even use top of your glue stick just to make sure it's nice and tight on there. Run it back and forth. Make sure you got a good attachment. All right. You can hold that for about 15-20 seconds. So now I have my attachment. So this would be my cover. And then it's going to go open up like a book. And then I have the back cover. Okay, and then again, if you were to have your other side blank as well, then you can ultimately use those other side, those other blank pages for more pages of their book, which would actually be really fun, especially if you want to use as much pages as possible. So you can kind of see where it gets its name. It's an accordion fold. All right. Now the fun part, we're going to add on the covers. Now for the covers, you do want to take your extra paper. Again, it can be colored, it can be cardstock with patterns, or you can even just use, if you have both blank pages, you can even just use the covers and decorate straight onto that. So you would just skip this step and start your decorating. If you do have that extra piece, depending on whatever color you want, whatever paper you have, you do want to make sure that you cut out the right dimensions to fit right on top of that cover. So I have already pre-cut my dimensions, but if you were to be cutting at the moment, you would just line it up to the corner, take your scissors. You can overcut, so that way once you have a smaller piece, you can work and cut the excess paper. So you just line it up, find the edges. I'm going to be overcutting a little bit. Cutting the excess paper afterwards definitely does help me. So I overcut a little bit, as you can see. You can even do an overcut and fold it in to the inside of your book. That also makes like a nice elegant cover sheet for the front and back covers. But I like just a plain solid look right on the top. So I'm going to get an even cut. Cut that extra paper on the bottom. From the side. Okay, and you can throw the extra trash away. So once you have your cover, you are then going to glue it onto the front. You can also even use a cardboard, especially if you like thick covers. Cardboard, and then gluing your construction or colored paper on top of the cardboard, then gluing that cardboard onto the front cover. That's always a fun look as well. So I'm just going to add some glue to one side of my cover. Make sure it's fully sticky. Also going to add a little bit of glue to the front cover itself. Again, just to make sure it's a good, clean stick. I'm going to line it up the best that I can. Make sure it matches as perfectly as possible. And you have your So again, as I said, I already pre-made a cover on one side. So now I have my front and my back. Now I get to have fun and decorate. So again, I'm going to be using my Mr. Sketch markers. You can set aside all of the rest of your materials. I have yellow paper, so I do want to use colors that are going to show up the best on the yellow paper. So you can make your book for whatever reason that you want. I'm going to end up turning it into my own little sketchbook, but you can make it out of a story that you've created. You can make it for your own sketchbook. It can literally become anything that you want. So make sure you're on the front cover, not the back, and create a title. You can also decorate your back cover. Alrighty, so hope you enjoyed.